sa pagkakataon na makasama kayo sa makasaysayang araw na ito para sa ating mga nagtapos ng Juris Doctor, sa kanilang mga magulang, at sa ating mga guro sa Jose Maria College. Babatiin ko po muna ang mga opisyales ng ating kolehiyo. Siyempre po, ang ating founding na chairman, president, Pastor Apollo Kibuloy, ang ating presidente, si Dr. Felix Chavez Jr., ang ating administrator, si Professor Rosemary Dimanggaong, ang ating dean, ang aking paboritong estudyante sa Master of Laws, si Dean Rion, mga magulang, mga graduates, mga guro, magandang umaga po sa inyong lahat. Napakasaya po ng araw na ito. Gaya ninyo, 34 years ago, ako rin po ay nagtapos sa College of Law ng Pamantasan ng Pilipinas. Ang isang bagay na maaalala nyo na sinabi ko ngayon ay hindi po nyo makakalimutan itong araw na ito. Dahil after all, the Philippines has one of the longest period in order to obtain the Juris Doctor degree. Wala na pong tatalo sa atin. It takes 8 years and a half to be a lawyer, 8 years to procure the degree of Juris Doctor. Mabuti nga po at ang Supreme Court ay binago na ang titulo natin from Bachelor of Laws to Juris Doctor. Kasi lugi talaga tayo kung Bachelors of Law pa rin yan. Pangalawang degree na po yan. Napakatagal po ng ating pagsisikap para makarating dito. At naintindihan nyo naman siguro ang sakripisyo na ginawa niyong mga magulang dahil 8 taon para makarating lang dito sa araw na ito. Alam niyo mga graduates, bagamat kayo maligayang-maligaya ngayon, ito po'y simula lamang ng inyong buhay sa batas. Magdiwang po kayo at kinakailangan paghandaan ng bar examination. Ako po'y naging bar examiner na at ang masasabi ko lang sa inyo, talagang dadaan pa rin kayo sa butas ng karayom dahil ang mga bar examiners po, tao lang po sila at libo-libo pong mga papeles ang kanilang i-check. Swerte nga po kayo ngayon, pwede nang gumamit ng computers. At ngayon po, ang balita ko, marami ng examiners. Kaya mas mabilis na ngayon ang pag-check ng mga papeles. Sa totoo lang po, nung ako'y naging bar examiner ng 2010, umiiyak po ako. Nagpunta ako doon sa chairman ng bar exam, si Justice Conchita Carpio Morales, na naging ombudsman. Ang sabi ko, ibabalik ko na ang bayad sa akin, dodoblehin ko na. Kumuha ka na lang ng ibang mag-check itong mga papeles na ito. Dahil at that time, I had to check 6,000 booklets na i-deliver sako-sako, 5 sako kadang linggo. At akala ko, mabubuang na ako kaka-check ng bar exam papers. Aminin ko po sa inyo, naimbitahan na naman ako maging bar examiner. At ang sabi ko, you've gotta be kidding. Never again. Pero alam niyo po, if there is one significant achievement that I have had in life that has really molded me into who I am, it is the fact that I went through the rigorous training to become a lawyer in a Philippine law school. Lawyering in the Philippines is not just a profession. While it is true that it is expected that it will be our main source of livelihood, it's more than a livelihood. It is actually a natural advocacy. Law exists to encourage behavior that is beneficial to human beings. And that is why we say law forms part of a normative system. Bawal pumatay. Bakit? Dahil tanging Panginoon lamang ang pupwedeng kubuhan ng buhay. Bawal magnakaw. Bakit? Dahil pag tayo nanakawan, mawawalan po ng halaga ang ating propiedad. Bawal mang-api ng tao. Bakit? Kasi lahat tayo hinugis ng Panginoon sa kanyang imahe nung tayo po ay binuo ng Panginoon. Law seeks to regulate human behavior in order to elicit action and behavior beneficial to mankind. This is true of both domestic law and international law. It is more important in international law because without a set of norms that are beneficial to human beings, there will be chaos. Without the prohibition on torture, people will suffer physical pain to achieve evil means. Without the prohibition on genocide, people will die senselessly only because of their race, creed, or belief. Without protection accorded to civilian populations, those who are not actively participating in any armed conflict will bear the consequences of war. Without rights, people will become subjects with no right to think, with no right to speak, with no right to participate in governance. Ang pinasok niyo po ay hindi lamang isang propesyor na magbibigay sa inyo ng hanap buhay. Ito po ay isang dedikasyon na tayo po ay maninindigan kung bakit meron tayong batas to begin with. Narariyan po ang batas na yan para itaguyod ang interes ng lahat po ng katauhan. Kaya nga po, habang tayo ngayon nagtatapos dito sa Jose Maria College, napakalungkot na ang sarili nating paaralan, Jose Maria College, ay linusob ng puwersa ng Estado na sa pamamaraang labag po sa saligang batas. Hindi ko na po kinakailangan sabihin sa inyo kung bakit nalabag ang karapatan ng Jose Maria College at ng simbahan na nagmamay-ari nito doon sa ginawa nilang paglusob ng Hunyo Agis. Alam nyo naman po ang nakasaad sa Rules of Court. Alam nyo kung anong nakasaad sa saligang batas. The right of the people to be secure in their persons, papers, and places shall be inviolable. No search warrant or warrant of arrest shall issue except upon lawful order of a judge, upon examination of witnesses, particularly describing the places to be searched and the items to be seized. Ano pong nangyari? Linusob po ang ating simbahan, linusob ang ating paaralan ng batas na nagtuturo na walang kasing taas na batas sa bayang nito o hindi ang ating saligang batas at ang batas ng Panginoon. Siguro po, talaga namang may dahilan kung bakit nangyari ang June 10, 2024, ilang araw lamang matapos kayo magtapos ng inyong pag-aaral sa batas. Yan po ay nagpapakita na hindi lang po kayo pumapasok sa isang hanap buhay, pumapasok po kayo sa isang larangan na kinakailangan ang paninindigan at ang katapangan para mabigyan po ng katuparan ang saligang batas at ang ating batas. Consider the June 10 incident is a continuing challenge to all of you to be true to the calling of the law. We only speak of the Constitution as the highest and fundamental law of the land, but it cannot be so if it remains in paper. It is not just the courts that give life to the supremacy of the Constitution. That supremacy can only achieve reality because of lawyers, because of agents of the court that will uphold the supremacy of our Constitution, that will uphold the supremacy of our Bill of Rights. It is not just June 10 that brings about challenges to our recent graduates today. Our national politics presents serious challenges to the rule of law. Ang nakakatawa nga po, nung panahon ng eleksyon, isa lang naman ang istasyon na sumuporta dito sa administrasyon neto. Isa lang ang sinapian niyang debate dahil isa lang ang pinagkatiwalaan niya na magiging patas. Yan po ang SMNI. Pero ano pong nangyari? Kung sino pa ang nagtangkilik sa ating nakaluklok sa pwesto ngayon, yun pa ang kauna-unahang sinupin. Kung sino pa yung mga nagbigay ng pagkakataon na makilala ang mga nakaluklok sa pwesto ngayon, yun pa po ngayon ang pinasara at binaliwala ang prangkisa. And yet in all this, lawyers will not sit down and take it doing nothing. We filed cases against the decision to suspend indefinitely our franchise on the basis that the NTC does not have such a power. That ultimately, it is the Bill of Rights that grants SMNI its freedom of the press and not any license to be issued by the National Telecommunications Commission. They arrested two of our anchors, Dr. Lorraine Badoy and Ka Eric, when they questioned the Speaker on the expenditure of public funds. Hindi ko na po kayo papaalalahanan dahil alam nyo na kung anong jurisprudence dyan. Ang mga taong gobyerno hindi dapat balat sibuyas. Kung kayo'y balat sibuyas, wag na kayong maglingkod sa gobyerno. Manahimik na lang kayo bilang mga pribadong mga individual. Pero habang kayo ay gumagastos ng pera galing sa pawis at luha ng taong bayan, tanggapin niyo mga pula dahil sa ating demokrasya, sa publiko sa pamamagitan ng pula, yan po ang nagdidisiplina sa mapang-aping gobyerno. As you can see, the injustices suffered by SMNI, our anchors, ultimately will be resolved by our courts of law, upholding our fundamental law of the land, which is the Constitution. 34 years later, I look back to my life. We marched once against an administration, against a president who asked for forgiveness for election fraud. Some of us were arrested while marching. We went up to the Supreme Court, asserted supremacy of our right to peaceful assembly and right to freedom of speech, and prevailed. The court in David versus Arroyo ruled that an executive order that calls upon the military and the police to deal with acts of terrorism is unconstitutional in the absence of a clear definition of terrorism which can be used to curtail civil liberties. We've brought the very first writ of amparo against a journalist whose life was a threat because he exposed that a local official was in fact a drug lord. The Supreme Court issued the very first writ of amparo in favor of a journalist, only to be revoked by the CA when remanded. Exactly 1 month after the CA revoked the writ of amparo, that journalist was killed. I went physically to the 3 justices that dissolved the writ of amparo and said, "You have blood in your hands." We have, of course, gone to court and were frustrated because the court did not grant our petitions. We questioned the Visiting Forces Agreement because we said that the 1987 Constitution prohibits the stationing of foreign troops and bases unless it is pursuant to a treaty duly concurred in by the Senate and recognized by the other contracting party as such. The Supreme Court denied that petition, but we maintain that almost 15 years after that case was dismissed by the court, the Americans have remained. They constitute now a threat to our national security because they act as magnet for attacks to be perpetrated by enemies of the United States and not by enemies of the Philippines, because the Filipinos are peace-loving and have no enemies. In other words, there will be times when you will fail in your legal challenges in court, but history will prove you right. I only pray that this time, our warning, which we ventilated before the court, that the presence of U.S. bases and troops in the country, in addition to being violative of the Philippine Constitution, constitutes and amounts to a magnet for armed attack against the Philippines, will not happen, although from all indications, it will in fact soon happen, despite our prayers to the contrary. What I am saying, therefore, dear graduates, is the law is a powerful tool You can use it to fiscalize government. You can use it to negate acts of despots and dictators. But the law, like any tool, will only be effective if used for the purposes that it exists. Kung kayo po, bagamat alam nyo kung anong nakasaad sa batas, ay hindi gagamitin ng batas para protektahan ang ating demokrasya, para protektahan ang ating mga kalayaan, sigurado po, ang resulta niyan, diktadura. Gaya ng nangyari sa atin nung panahon ng martial law. Napakadaming paghahamon sa inyo, mga graduates. Pero, kampante naman ako dahil kayo'y pinag-aralan ng batas sa Jose Maria College, dahil sa mga guru ninyo, dahil sa inyong dekano, dahil kay Pastor Kibuloy, alam niyo na po kung paano nyo magagamit ang batas para po sa kabutihan ng nakakarami. Dark clouds over in the horizon. Despite all challenges, despite the darkness that now prevails, I am confident that the 24 graduates of Jose Maria College who are today present in today's graduation will serve as a guiding light to guide the nation towards the path of liberty and democracy. Congratulations, graduates! Congratulations, parents! Congratulations, professors! Mabuhay po ang Jose Maria College! Mabuhay po ang siyudad ng Davao! Mabuhay po ang Pilipinas! Mabuhay ang demokrasya! At good riddance soon doon sa mga adiktador. Magandang araw po sa inyong lahat.